Another of Electric Phoenix's major commissions was Tales and Songs from the Bible of Hell by Henri Pousseur. It begins with his splendid arrangement for four voices of John Dolan's Lacrymae, an air for voice and flute. Most of the following live and pre-recorded music is based on this thematic material. The assembly instructions consisted of many pages of scores, together with precise directions as to how they should be assembled. Some parts of the procedure would have made John Cage smile in approval. One sequence included a single line, which was produced by recording a vocal passage several times, cutting the tape into 2-inch segments with offset markings so that the proper direction could be maintained, and then dropped into a box, and finally taken out at random and reassembled one by one in a splicing block. When the tape was finally reassembled, which consumed a whole afternoon of what felt like occupational therapy, I re-recorded it by putting the recorder into fast forward with the tape against the playback head, holding the speed back by hand, gradually allowing it to go faster and faster. This produced a garbled voice line, which accelerated into a terrifying screech. On modern digital equipment, this could be accomplished with a few minutes programming and the push of a button, but the result would be clean, impersonal, and seemingly effortless. At that moment in Tales and Songs, the labor required by the endless cutting and splicing is at least subliminally detectable. Experience has led me to believe that art consists of the transmission of energy whose sources are unknown. As the great American poet Charles Olson put it, a poem is energy transferred from where the poet got it by way of the poem itself all the way over to the reader. Those who practice the arts with any success are channels through whom that energy flows. When I was producing the tape for Tales and Songs, I felt as if I were plugged into an energy bank of tremendous force, and that I was able to arrive at what Henri wanted because he was connected to the same circuits. In fact, it was as though he were standing behind me, telling me what to do. There were moments when I departed from his instructions because I knew that what was required had to be achieved by other means. He subsequently approved these changes without reservation. A couple of years later, when I ventured to tell Henri of my experience, he replied, "But of course, we were both channels for the energy that had flowed through Blake and Dowland." When I wrote Henri's obituary for The Guardian some 30 years later, all this came vividly back to me. The excerpt you will hear begins with his four-voice arrangement of the Doland air, followed by one of the more elaborately produced segments of the pre-recorded tape.